How's it going, Ricky? Good. Yeah, actually gonna get something done today? Try to. Well, here, I got you some stuff. Roll Grommets. Got you some wire nuts.
Yeah, we ain't gonna be using that on the race car.
No. Okay, so what are we gonna use?
We're actually gonna be using some number 14 and some Weatherpack.
Connectors, yeah. So you're gonna show us how to put that together?
Yeah, we're gonna show the proper way to put this together so on your car is actually weather tight and safe and I guess.
Yeah, so we want a quick disconnect.
Yes.
So what are you actually wiring up?
This is a oil pressure switch.
So that's our safety switch to shut down. So if you shut down, it shuts the fuel pump off if you lose oil pressure.
Or get in a crash.
In the event of an accident.
You don't have fuel pumping into the fire.
Right.
So yeah, I'm going to show you how to wire it up properly. I'm just going to do the male end, because I can't do the other end yet.
Yeah,
the fact that the wire's not there yet.
Right. Just get some practice, and then you're going to do Weatherpack on one end, some terminals on the other.
Yep.
A little bit of heat shrink. You got some of that?
Yep, got a heat shrink. Terminals are going here, and then on the other end.
All right. Sounds good.
First, obviously, you got to get your wire cut, and always remember, long is never wrong. You never want to end up short in wiring, because if something happens at the track or a connection burns up, you can always cut it off and redo it and not have to worry about being way too short. So let's go about that length.
Yeah, just make it a pigtail. So
you snip it, get a couple of them. I guess in this case, we're going to need
do all three
for normally open, normally closed,
and common. So you did do a wiring diagram for all this, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's actually in the trunk of the car. Another big old.
All right, so now the kit comes with these little rubber grommets. Probably best you slide these on first. For this application where you could slide on after, it doesn't matter. But in a car where you don't have, or anything, where you don't have the other end, you got to put it on first. And then strip the wire. About right the edge there, right before those wings come out, to about right at the end there is about where you want to strip the wire, because you don't want the wire going back in here, because these little wings are going to be going over that part of the grommet.
The insulation, yeah.
Yep, so right about there. Yep, and then just kind of sits right in there.
Okay, so what do you got for a crimp tool?
Got this crimp tool for small stuff, 14-16, 14-18, 18-20, a little bit small. I think this one goes down to 24.
Yeah, and this was specifically for these Weatherpack connectors?
Yep, and so, like this. And it'll fold over on itself. See that? It's
nice.
It's not going anywhere. And then helps with when you're going over that. Squeeze those in a little bit so then it fits in the tool. And just like that.
Okay, what do you think? That's a good connection.
Yep, it ain't going nowhere. Then, all you gotta do, slide that in, and it clicks.
Nice.
And that little rubber grommet sits in there.
That's your weather tight connection.
And then you
repeat, you got a couple more.
Repeat the process. All right, once you get to this point where you have all your connections made, get your last one in there, click it. And these come, I don't know what you'd call it, a holder.
The clamshell, yeah.
Yeah, it'll come, click in place. It's actually very hard to get these to pop back up, but they will. But that really ensures that these will not pull out As you can see it, the grommets in there, not going anywhere. All right, so now I'm going to be cutting these all the same length so it all ends up pretty equal. And then what we're going to do is put heat shrink over our wires for
just to kind of loom the wires together, yeah.
Yeah, loom them. And if one for some reason becomes weak and wants to, wiggle around, I hold it in place.
It all protects each other.
Yep. So then, yeah.
Get the torch.
Careful not to burn it.
Slide that other piece on right over that.
Yeah, slide down just so it overlaps, and when it shrinks, it'll won't leave a small gap in there.
Okay, Ricky, now time for the eyelets.
Yep. So we're not a huge fan of the plastic that comes around them. So yeah, we're going to be using our own heat shrink.
So we pulled the plastic off.
And then these fit right over that. And we got to cut the length that we want for all three of them.
Right. So we'll heat shrink right over the top.
Right there. All right, now that we got these fitted the way we want, you're going to want to slide these over first because as small as these are, they will not fit over the eyelet. And obviously, you're going to want maybe just a bit of copper showing, and try not to have any come back, but it'll be all right if a little bit is because we got our heat shrink coming back on that. But it doesn't take a whole lot. There's the test fit.
Why don't you go ahead and crimp that on? Use the insulated end.
Yeah. So on ours, we have an insulated and a non-insulated end. Kind of helps if you hold in place and then push the wire through. It's about right where you want it. Crimp. Not coming off. And then we'll, once these other ones are done, we'll heat shrink it all together.
Looks good. All right, get them all crimped on.
Yep. Now, without burning your fingers.
A little heat shrink.
These heat shrink a little bit faster, being smaller. And I feel like it's a better connection with the heat shrink than those plastic, but it's like that. Pretty simple.
Yeah, looks good. So why don't you go ahead and screw it to that, and then we'll use a silver Sharpie and mark the end.
Yep.
Commons in the middle, and we have normally open and normally closed. Okay, got the pigtail made.
Yep. There it is.
Yep, so now we got a quick release.
So yeah, whenever we get the power coming to this,
we'll make the other end up, yeah.
Make the other up, snap it together, and be weather tight and make it a lot.
More importantly, a good connection and quick release. So yeah, if you ever get in a wiring jam at the track, we usually show up prepared with tools and connectors, so don't be afraid to hit us up. We're always happy to help.
Yep. And I hope we made it harder than what it actually is to do.
Well, it certainly looked harder than it really is.
Yeah, it is really easy. And then these kits come with hundreds of these. You can buy more. If you screw one up, there's no sweat to it. So if you like what we're doing here, subscribe and like the video, and we'll catch you in the next one.
All right.